It appears that this is a Trojan horse for something much deeper and possibly even greater.
How y'all doing today? Y'all staying in that trouble? You got your ID on you, Chip?
No, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out?
No.
Right. You don't follow like
No.
Code 3, anything like that people are putting up? All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together for 7 days and going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. Right? So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law, so they learn, right? And then if there's other stuff going on where it turns into there's multiple agencies of somebody, there's a shooting and things like that. So there's extra hands to go, right? So we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joint or something like that, all right?
I only asked because when you walked up, at the moment you walked up, you only had eggs.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand, and I didn't flash right, so I didn't realize it was just a cigarette. So that's on me. I appreciate you understanding and not getting chippy. All right, so just know, right? Learn, teach, tell your boys, like, yo, everybody's out, from FBI to park police. Right? So do your thing. Let them know. Don't be smoking outside. Don't be drinking outside, because Donald Trump is tired of it. People coming to visit.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know smoking in public?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the reciprocal
Because
offense.
in Maryland, there's recreational use, so I didn't know.
Yeah, so DC, it's recreational use as well, right? But you can legally possess up to 2 ounces. You can gift an ounce to your boy, right? So if you had 2 ounces and he said he needed a zip, you can give him a zip, but you can't smoke outside.
I want to start off before I do my commentary on DC and Trump's takeover by saying this. I want to do a little rant, if you will. Please bear with me. To describe Washington, D.C. as the most dangerous is an outright lie, period. And for those that lived in the D.C. metropolitan area, the DMV, know it, period. Unless they have never lived, traveled, or spent any amount of time in major cities like New York, then maybe they wouldn't know that. Miami comes to mind, and many other major cities. It is the safest place in the United States of America, or one of the safest places as a major city, period. The big ball event with Edward, a former Doge employee, is suspect at best. Because somehow magically, whether people know it or not, he was located in a place that's not even considered a tourist area at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let that sink in for a minute. But this particular conference that Trump just did, stating that they need to put boots on the ground, National Guard, and clean this city up, is an assault. And I believe that insult has a lot to do with people of color, namely Black Americans. Why? Because DC has probably the highest area of Black American professionals. That's right, people with jobs that don't have to rob, steal, or do anything. So to get on a podium with his entire team, I'm talking about Trump administration, and act as if DC is so dangerous, oh my goodness, when over the last 2 weeks we've seen major mass shootings, is ridiculous. In the last 2 weeks, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. So anyone that's never lived in the DC metro area, anybody that's never lived in the DC metro area, you cannot take what you're hearing for truth. And the fact that they may put boots on the ground like the National Guard and the police is over. It's overreacting to what I don't know. Big balls being beat up and catching that work because his job was about firing federal employees unexpectedly and unannounced and not following the federal employee guiding rule. And then their administration attempting to turn that over so that federal government workers aren't given a proper notice under their OPM. I don't know what it was about, but here's what I know for sure. The fact that they're sitting here trying to claim that DC is so dangerous, is out of control, and the black mayor of all people, and there's been many years of having black mayors.
It is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but we worked quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why we have seen a huge decrease in crime because of those.
Can't run the place is an insult to people of color, especially black people. I find it demonic at best, and I'm outraged behind it, because if anybody is not from DC and they go there as a tourist and they stay in the tourist areas and they're not out at 5 o'clock in the morning going, woohoo, let's go party, and they're still in the tourist area, they usually will not have an issue. You stand less of a chance of being attacked during business hours, on the weekends, as long as you are within range if you're a tourist coming to Washington, D.C. And I would say 95% of the people that come to D.C. as tourists don't experience any kind of crime. They may see it on the news at the most, but it's captured and taken care of. Not to mention the fact that there's cameras. You can't drive anywhere in D.C. without there being a camera. There's no place like that. And then you've got the Park Police, the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police, and then you have other police forces that are there right in the nation's capital. So this is definitely an attempt to take control of a city that is ran by black people, as far as I'm concerned, most of which are professionals, and they don't need to steal or be thugs of any kind. And as far as the situation went with Big Balls being attacked, those kids were from Maryland. And so for those that don't know, DC, Maryland, Virginia, that's part of the DMV. The Virginia and Maryland borderline on DC, and on the Maryland side, because there's no water between it, you can walk right into DC. So those kids basically walk right into DC and supposedly hijack a vehicle, which, by the way, the carjacking going on in the DMV, DC metro area, is happening in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. This is one more attempt to take control, like they did in Los Angeles with a black mayor. Now they're doing it in Washington, D.C. They're just out of control and can't manage themselves. That is an insult.
The president has been trying to provoke violence here, right here, in the black communities and in the brown communities, having ICE kidnap our neighbors, having the black community be harassed and profiled and want a response. We say, hell no, we won't go. When we say we won't go, that means we're not going into those mass incarceration, into their prisons and enslavement. We won't go into their ICE, what he call his beautiful centers that he got. We won't go to where alligators live. Hell no, we won't go.
Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
Today we gather to speak plainly about policy path that sounds strong, but in truth, it weakens the very safety we seek. We believe there is a better way to protect us all. One that respects rights to build trust and keep our communities truly safe, and that is fascism free. Fear is not a roadmap to safety. It is a burial. It fails hardest on the black communities that already we bear disproportionate share of surveillance, stops, and forces. I want to be clear, we've been here before. This is a long history. Well before today, the black communities bear the brunt of aggressive policing. Data and reports from many credible organizations show patterns. Black people are more likely to be stopped, searched, questioned, arrested, and harmed in encounters with the law. When we add the presence of federal agents or the National Guard to daily life in these neighborhoods, the burden can multiply. Not by making harm more rare, but making it more visible and more likely to escalate. So be clear, this has been going on. But as you bring more policemen, it's going to escalate. Black Washingtonians have long recognized that community violence cannot be solved through state violence and have asked for meaningful investments and solutions that are proven to work. Racist over-policing goes beyond D.C. as the roots of American policing in many regions, like enslaved patrols. Police have been enslaving and murdering black people with freedom for punishment for centuries. I stand in front of you today with a signal to the residents of D.C. and the country that we will not be idle as oppressive structures try to harm our communities and take power. The fight for black liberation and the liberation of all people will not stop no matter our oppression, intimidation, manipulation tactics. We have the right to demand respect, to protect ourselves and protect each other.